Okay, so this is the one type of question that we're going to do today, and these are the list of heading type of questions. What is really good in this type of question is that they have some kind of different way of doing these questions. In the previous type of questions, let's say they fill in the blanks, the MCQs, and then yes, no, not given, and true, false, not given. What we did is that we went to the questions first to look for the keywords. Okay, to look for the keywords. Then after finding the keywords, after underlining, after marking the keywords, we came back to our paragraphs and then we look for those keywords over here. Same thing over here, but then so first step is the looking for keyword, means the scanning, and then the skimming means understanding what is written into the paragraph, and then the by close reading you give your answer. Okay, so here we have a little bit different thing. If you look at the questions here, these are the questions. These are the questions that we have, and these are the list of headings. So we need to give these headings to these questions. What I told you is that that first of all we need to look for the keywords, we need to locate the questions. Here they have mentioned the paragraph A. So that scanning part, that locating of keyword is not here. Okay, so paragraph A means it's here. Here it is. Okay, so you don't need to locate, do the scanning because it's already done. Paragraph A they have mentioned over here in question number, and then this is paragraph A. You need to read the paragraph first. You need to read the paragraph. You do not go and look at the list of headings. Do not look at the list of headings first. Do not look at these ones first. Let me see. When you do these type of questions, let me see if it's going to work. Yeah. So you don't look at these ones in the starting. As soon as you come to the list of headings, read the paragraph first. That's the first thing that you need to do. Oh, I don't know. And then the second thing that you do is that you go for the list of headings and you read all the list of headings, all of these ones. Okay. Let me see if we can erase this one. Yeah. So first thing you do is that you read the paragraph, make a general understanding after reading the whole paragraph A. Whole paragraph A. After reading, come back to the list of headings and use the elimination method. Elimination method means that you eliminate, you read the list of headings. Oh, I think they haven't talked about the politics of tourism. Gone. Cost of tourism, no. Justifying the study of tourism, no. That's how we do it. This is the elimination. You look for the you look for the wrong list of headings, and then at the end you see how many options that we have here. We have 9 options. If we crossing the wrong one, then at the end eventually we'll have the right list of heading, the correct answer at the end. There might be some chances that you'll get confused with the list of headings. List of headings are difficult type of questions, let me tell you, because you need to have a really good understanding of the context, what you're reading. You need to understand what they talk about over there generally, not specifically to particular thing, no, but what is the main thing, main topic of this paragraph, and then you look for that main paragraph, main topic in the list of headings here. I'm telling you, you do not look for the list of headings first. No, first of all, you go and read the paragraph and come back to list of headings and try to eliminate which are wrong. Then at the end, eventually you'll get the correct one. Okay. Same thing for all of these, right? But as I told you that, as I told you that this could be the difficult one because you need to have really good understanding of English. So I'm going to try to do a couple of things. These list of headings could be difficult as well. Sometimes if you're lucky, you get the easiest one, but sometimes they could be really, really difficult. and this paragraph is the difficult one. Okay, so I'll see what we're going to do in this one. First of all, we're going to read the paragraph A, and again, then we're going to make a general understanding of it. Okay, where we are. Here, right? So I'm going to read this one, and I'm going to try to understand what does it says. Tourism, holiday making, and travel are these days more significant social phenomena than most commentators have considered. Okay, what is tourism, holiday making, and traveling? Is that get together with other people. You get to meet other people. Maybe they are local to that place, or maybe they are native to that place, or maybe they are traveling from other places. Like if you go to Goa, and so you'll get to meet people who are living in Goa. You might get to meet people who are living in Mumbai, people who are living in USA, Japan, China. So you get to meet lots and lots of people. Okay, and it's a really good thing. Significant means it's important. Okay, now on the face of it, there could not be a more trivial subject for a book. If you want to name it something else, they might be difficult. It might be difficult to have some other name. That's what they're trying to say. And indeed, since social scientists have had considerable difficult explaining weightier topics such as work or politics, and sometimes people who are they are calling social scientists. Hey, you see, social scientists means people who talk, who have some kind of experience, or who might have done the research, maybe PhD, MPhil on socialism, and getting together with the other people, they worked onto that. So these social scientists sometimes face difficulty explaining other topics that they might not be able to tell you really good thing about work. They might not be able to tell you really good thing about politics. Okay, so what we have read so far, that it's a really important thing, social phenomena. Then other some commentators say they consider that it's a good thing, but then it is really really important. That's what they're saying. Tourism, holiday making, and traveling is really, really important, and it could not have any other name. Okay, you cannot name it with other subject. Sometimes these scientists, these people who are good with socialism, they face difficulty in explaining work or politics. Okay, it might be thought that they would have great difficulties in accounting for more trivial phenomena such as holiday making. They might face difficulties. It could be seen that they might face difficulty in explaining things or accounting things on these holiday makings. Okay, so if they are facing problem explaining work and politics, they might face problem in explaining and talking about holiday making as well. See, that's what they have written over here. However, there are interesting parallels with the study of deviance. There could be other things as well which could be similar to this. This involves the investigations of bizarre and idiosyncratic social practices. It could involve analysis. Investigation means like the police do with some kind of criminal activity. They try to investigate such topic. And so it could be really bizarre, means really bad. Idiotic, idiosyncratic means people who are fool to investigate such type of topics, or they are not leading the investigation to some conclusion. Okay, it could be that. What happens to be defined as deviant in some societies but not necessarily in others? It could be good in some societies, but you don't see that other societies are also require the explanation. Like what they have talked over here so far is that it's important. Tourism and holiday making and travel is important. You whatever the commentators say, more than important that. Okay, like I am commenting on something, and I am not able to see how deep the importance of this thing is. So I might be underestimating its importance, but it's more than important, more than that. Okay, so, and social scientists, they are saying that they might face difficulties in explaining such topics as they might face problem in explaining or talking about the topics like work or politics. Okay, sometimes people investigate some bizarre things. Okay, and but necessarily, but not necessarily in others. The assumption is that the investigation of deviance can reveal interesting and significant aspects of normal societies. If you are investigating something, if you are investigating, let's say, work, if you are investigating, let's say, traveling or tourism, it might bring something very interesting things, really interesting thing, some aspects of that normal societies that if they, let's say that if you are working on or investigating the traveling of people, let's say, in that case, um, you might bring the hard and some really deep things about that traveling. Like if you want to talk about that traveling nowadays is restricted, it's artificial, tourism is artificial. So if you go and talk to a company, let's say that you have made a contract with um, some kind of company who will guide you in Europe, who will help you to see beautiful places in Europe. But will they be able to help you to actually visit the actual Europe? The actual Europe might be different than what you are experiencing with this tour guide or this tour company. So if you are working on something, you might be able to get some interesting things about that, and could be said that a similar analysis can be applied to tourism, and then you can apply the same thing to tourism as well. Okay, so this is the overall thing about this paragraph. It's okay if I'm taking time, but it's a learning period, so you'll get to learn how to do the list of headings type of question. First of all, I'm making my general understanding on this paragraph. I'm going to repeat myself again of what I've just read in this paragraph. Okay, but they say that it has more importance than the people says. Okay, it has more importance than the people says. If there are some people who are commenting on tourism, then they might face difficulty in commenting on tourism or explaining tourism, because then at the same time they might face difficulty in explaining or commenting on work and politics as well. So if they cannot work well with politics and work, then at the same time, how could it be possible that they can talk about tourism? Okay, so they are here they are trying to uh, defend the tourism. Okay, so the second they have said that if you dive deep into and in investigating tourism, you might able to get some really good things from that tourism. Okay, that's what they're saying in the first paragraph. Now after making the general understanding, oh, sorry, let me, after making the general understanding of the paragraph, you go and look for the more important, more close, more relevant list of heading of this paragraph. Okay, so we'll read every single thing of here. The politics of tourism. They were saying that people try to comment on tourism, but they cannot understand tourism unless until they try to understand work and politics. So if two things, work and tourism, and then the work and politics, and then the tourism. Okay, if they cannot explain things in work and tourism and cannot investigate that properly, how could it be possible that they can work on tourism as well? Okay, so yeah, they weren't talking about the politics over there, but they were trying to defend how good the tourism is, and if you go and explore it, you might be able to get some really good things from the tourism. The cost of tourism, no, they haven't talked about that. Justifying the study of tourism. Okay, yes, they did talk about investigation. They did say, here I'll mark this one, they did say investigation. Investigation means working on something or studying something. Yes, they did talk about this. I'm pretty much sure that this could be the answer. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read these ones as well. Tourism contrasted with travel. No, they were just only talking about tourism. So there's no comparison of tourism and traveling. The sense of modern tourism, they haven't talked about modern tourism. Tourism versus leisure, no, there was no word about leisure. Artificiality of modern tourism, no, it wasn't there. The role of modern tour guides, no. Creating an alternative to the everyday experience, no, definitely not. So I figured out that after making general understanding, I read all of these all of these list of headings, all of these ones. I was trying to what I did over here is that I tried to eliminate the wrong ones, and then at the end I've got the correct one left, justifying the study of tourism. So this is our answer. So I'll write down here. Okay. Third, this is the way of doing list of adding. This is the only way. This is the only good way I have figured out by myself, that this is the only way of doing the list of headings. Other than that, I don't know how people do what they say. What people say is that if you read the first two or three lines, and then if you read the last two or three lines, oh man, कोई बात नहीं, thank you. किसने कहा, कौन सी मैम ने? ओके, एक ले लेता हूँ. नहीं, ले लो प्लीज. Okay. What other teacher says about list of adding is that read the first two or three lines of the paragraph and the last two or three lines of the paragraph, and you'll get the idea of what they're trying to say. I do not agree with that. I do not support such type of activity, because you won't get the overall understanding of the paragraph unless until you read the whole paragraph. So do not read the first two or three lines and the last two or three lines. Try to read the full paragraph and try to make a general understanding. I know that you won't get this much of time, the time that I have taken to make general understanding of the paragraph, but it's here that we were learning. Okay, we'll see what's in the paragraph B. I'll try to explain everything what is that we'll be able to find in paragraph B. Then I'll ask two of you to look for the answer for the paragraph B. Okay. So here, this is from here to here. I'm going to read this one and I'm going to explain to you what does it means, and then I'll ask two of you to make your understanding onto this one. Tourism is a leisure activity which presupposes its opposites, namely regulated and organized work. It is one manifestation of how work and leisure are organized as separate and regulated spheres of social practice in modern scientists. Okay. What they said here is that tourism is a leisure activity. Whenever you get a free time, you'd like to tour, you like to visit places if you have a free time. Okay, it leads to its opposite, namely regulated and organized work. Okay, that it's regulated and organized work. It's against that. Right now, that what I'm doing is that it's my organized work. We had a timeline. We had the timing of 10 o'clock, 10:30 that we're going to start our class. Okay, that's our organizing things, and then we're going to finish our class at, let's say, 2 to 2:30. That's the organizing thing. But tourism is not like that. It's opposite to that. You can wake up whatever the time you want to wake up. You can do whatever the time you want to do, and whatever the time in a day that you want to do, for whatever longer. You can wake up um, in the noon, and then you can go to sleep in the early mornings, and then you can tour the whole place in the night, and then you can sleep the whole day. It's totally free. There's no organization, there's no regulation in the tourism. That's what they say over here. Okay, it is one manifestation of how work and leisure are organized as separate and regulated spheres of social practice in modern societies. Indeed, acting as a tourist is one of the defining characteristics of being modern. And the popular concept of tourism is that it is organized in particular places and occurs for regularized periods of time. Okay. So again, what they're saying over here is that it has some kind of similarity with the regulation. It has some kind of relationship with the organized work, because you cannot tour for the whole year. There are some certain seasons, some certain months, some certain time of the year where you like to tour and for certain period of time. As that some people like to go to Shimla when it's snow. So people do not want to visit what I have learned in my life in the summertime and in the rainy season. When it's winter season, that time they like to visit Shimla. So again, organized a little bit organization that they have said over here. Okay, so where were we? Yeah. Organized within particular places and tourist relationship arise from a movement of people who and their stay in various destinations. Okay, the relationship that they make, it depends on the movement of the people. Like we from Haryana go and visit people who are in Shimla. So we might make some kind of relationship with them and the destination that we are traveling to. There might be some chances that people who are traveling to Goa depends will affect their relationship with the people who are living over there and for how longer they want to stay to that particular place. That depends on that. If you visit Shimla for one day, you might not be able to make a lot of friends, but if you visit Shimla for a week, there are some chances that you'll make some more good friends. So your relationship depends on how you're traveling and for how much longer you're staying at that particular place. This necessarily involves some movement that is a journey and a period of stay in a new place or places. Sorry. Okay, we have 10 more minutes. We'll see. Now, what they said over here is that a tourist relationship, no, this necessarily involves some movement. It has to be some movement, that is journey and a period of stay in a new place or a places. You have to stay over there for a couple of weeks, couple of days, and then you have to travel outside of your comfort zone and meet people. There you'll be able to generate some relationship. If you visit Shimla and you're staying in a hotel, and if you're going to some particular places which are being which are told to you by this tour company, then you will be able to make some relationship because there are some chances that they won't let you talk to the local peoples over there. So how you moving, and then for how much longer time you're staying over there. The journey and stay are by definition outside the normal places. Journey and stay are by definition outside of normal places of residence and work and are of short-term and temporary nature, and there is a clear intention of return home within a relatively short period of time. What they said over here, the journey that you have taken, it will be for some certain amount of period. Like I'm an IELTS trainer, and if I get some 1 week time to visit some place, I'll go and visit the place. But then eventually at the end, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do my work. That's what they're saying here. That it's a short term and temporary. It's not permanent. I won't be able to live over there permanently. I'm gonna come back eventually to my home and for after a short period of time. Okay, so this is what they have said. What they have said over here is that tourism on one side is not regularized, but then and not regularized and organized like work. But other than that, it is an organized work because you'll get some short amount of period to visit that particular place, and then in that particular period of time, it depends on how good your relationship is going to be. Depends on how much you are moving outside and where you are moving and for how long are you staying over to that particular place. So this is what I have made. This is the understanding that I've made so far. Okay, so let's see if they have talked about something over here. Now, so this was the understanding of the paragraph B. I'm going to read these ones and I'm going to see which one fits to the answer as an answer to this paragraph B. The politics of tourism. No, there was nothing about this. Cost of tourism. No, they haven't talked about that. Third one is gone. Tourism contrasted with travel. Definitely no. A sense of modern tourism. Okay, so what is modern tourism? Okay, so we'll wait for this one because what they said over here, that nowadays people don't get much time. So whatever the short amount of period of time they're getting, in that period of time they like to travel, they like to some places tour of some places, and they'll get, let's say that they have a couple of days of holidays, and after that they're going to come back. Okay, so this is modern tourism. This is not like the older type of tourism where people didn't have much work to do and they were just touring for longer period of times. Okay, tourism versus leisure, no. Artificial or modern tourism, definitely not. Artificiality of modern tourism, no, definitely not. The role of modern tour guides, no. Creating an alternative to the everyday experience, creating an alternative to the everyday experience. Whatever the experience that you're getting, you're taking and creating. Okay, so no, it's gone. It's in paragraph D and it's gone. So we're gonna cut this one. Okay, so I assume, I think that answer to the question number 29 is 5, because other than that, they didn't talk about politics, tourism cost. This one is gone. Nothing they were trying to compare tourism with traveling, no. Leisure activity, no. They did talk about leisure activity, but leisure time that they were talking about, they weren't comparing tourism with leisure. They were saying that you'll get short amount of period of time, and in that you'll be able to generate some kind of relationship other than your work, your home, your comfort zone, other than your place of living. Okay, but after the ending, after the finishing of that short period of time, you're going to come back to your place, and this staying of some other places is temporary, it's not permanent. That's what they say. They didn't talk about artificiality. Oh, something happened. Yes, so they didn't talk about artificiality. They didn't talk about tour guides. They did not talk about alternatives of everyday experience. No. Oh no, this one is gone. Yes, so yeah, of course. So yeah, that's what you do. That's how you do it. Go and read the paragraph first, make a general understanding. Do not go and find the specific words, and do not go and look for the keywords. Okay, this is your keyword that is in paragraph. This is your keyword, and paragraph B is given up there. It's written over there, so you, that means you have located it. Now is the time of making a general understanding, and it's skimming time. You skim the paragraph, you make a general understanding, then you come back to the list of heading and use the elimination method to look for the wrong answers, and then at the end you'll eventually left with the right one. That is the way of list of headings, the good way, which I believe. Okay, so I have done these two. Now your job is that you're going to do 30, 31, and 32 from home. This is your homework of reading. That you're going to do these three, and we're going to talk about these ones tomorrow, that how you're going to do it. Okay, so yeah, you can unmute from your side, please. Unmute from your side.